In this video, you're going to set the 7 goals that you need in order to create your new bright future. I'm going to actually teach you 2 ways how to set up those 7 goals. One of them is more the intuitive way, and the other one is more the methodical or scientific way, which works fantastically, but you will be able to choose between both of those, or just pick up a few goals with one system and a few other goals with the other system. The idea is to create those goals that will change your life in this period and for a bright new future. Now, this is going to be a workshop video, which means that you're going to work, which means that you need a pen and paper for that, actually a few papers. So if you don't have them, go get them. And also get the notes from the other videos that you did about values and about passions. If you don't have them, well, you'll have to figure it out while we're working. Pause the video, I'm going to wait, and we're going to start again. Ready? Let's go for it. Okay. So I want to remind you the 4 criteria that you need to include in every single goal that you set. This is important. The first one, you need to include yourself, so you need to say the word I, or if it's something that you're doing as a family or as a couple, then it's okay to say we, but it's either I or we. That is very, very important. The second one, make sure that you phrase the goal in the now, not in the future, not in Christmas, not over February, but in the now. Okay? I have, I do, I go, etc. So this is 2. The third one, make sure that you phrase it in the positive way. So not I'm not fat or I'm not broke, but I weigh this amount or I make this amount of money, etc., etc. So the third one is phrase it in the positive. And the fourth one, very important, state the end result, not the process in order to get there. Okay, you want to state what it is that the end result is. So you don't want to set for yourself a goal, I go to the gym 3 times a week in order to lose weight. No, you want to say for the goal, it's the end goal is the weight that you can weigh yourself at the end, and not the process for that. Okay, so this is the first thing that you want to remember. Now, one thing that you need to realize is that the only way to set goals is for yourself. You cannot set goals for somebody else. You cannot get somebody else to participates in your goals unless you agreed on that and they are doing the same process as you. And for sure you cannot set in your goals something like there is a new world peace. Okay, because unless you're describing what's your role there, and that's your goal. Okay, but you cannot say just world peace or something like that. So important to remember the goals is about you. Now, what I found through doing setting goals and teaching setting goals for almost 30 years now is that what you want to do is to make sure that your goals, the 7 goals, are divided into different areas of your life. You can, of course, have all the 7 goals to do with your work or business, for example, or all of them about your health, or all of them about your family. You can, but then you're focusing all the energy on one area of your life and you're kind of going to be out of balance, and it will be hard for you also to get the minimum critical mass in order to create this beautiful, wonderful, bright new future for yourself. So my suggestion is to spread your goals over different areas of your life. Usually I would say at least 5 areas, so it can be business or profession or career, it can be financial, it can be relationships, and that's many times I divide into relationship with my family and relationship with my friends. So that can be 1 area or 2 areas as you wish. Health, well-being, it can be an area by itself. Personal development or spirituality can be an area by itself. So 5, you can have 7 different areas, but at least 5, that's my recommendation, that's the way I work. So it's okay to have 2 or 3 goals in the same area as long as you have enough other areas. Okay, so this is good to remember. Now, one more thing before we start setting the actual goals is that we're trying to create a bright new future. So you want to think in big goals. You don't want to think about small goals, about, okay, so I'm going to go to the gym for 2 days a week. I mean, that might be a huge goal for you, and then that's fine. But if that's not a huge goal for you, then don't put it. Okay, put some goals that are going to get you excited. It's not about something that is scary. It's not something that is impossible, but it is your bright new future. It means that it's not there now. So it needs to be something that is, stressing you or pushing you outside of your comfort zone. So if you feel a little bit tensed, excited, a little scared, that's fine. Make them big. If they are not excited while you're writing the 7 goals, if any one of those is not excited for you, it's not something that you say, ooh, I wonder if I can make it, then that's not the right goal. Just go for something bigger than that, something more exciting. All right? All right, so as I mentioned, there are 2 systems that I'm using, 2 systems for setting goals, and you can choose to use one or the other, or just combine them, any way that works for you. For the sake of the exercise, I'm going to teach you the first system, which I call the intuitive system first, and then I'm going to ask you to set 7 goals using that system. And then I'm going to teach you the other system, which this is the one that I'm using today, and it's fantastic in what it brings out, and that's the more methodical way, which I like a lot. And then again, I will ask you to set your 7 goals in that system. And then at the end, you can pick up which 7 goals you want, and again, it can be any combination, and I'll ask you to share them in the comment box below so I can support you personally in order to achieve those goals. That's the deal. All right, so let's start with the first system, the intuitive goal setting. So basically here what you're doing is that first thing you need to do is to decide what are the areas in your life that you want to set goals in. Remember, we just talked about it. I prefer that you will have 5 or 6 or 7 different areas in your life, not one area. So I'm going to give you right now 1 minute and just choose those areas in your life that you would like to set goals in them. Anywhere between 5, 6 or 7. You have 1 minute starting now. All right, now what I want you to do is, on another piece of paper, write down your top passions. If you did the passion test in one of the videos before, then you right now should have your top 5 or 6 passions. So write them down on paper. It's important that you have them. If you don't remember, go quickly look at that. If you don't have that, then I want you to pause the video and actually think, what are the 5 most important passions in your life? Okay, so take a minute for that right now, and I'll see you there. All right, so now we're going to set the goals in an intuitive way, which means what you're going to do is you're going to write down the numbers from 1 to 7, and you're going to pick up a goal out of thin air or out of something that you really, really want in any one of those 5 or 7 areas that you wrote for yourself, and that is going to actually allow you to bring one of those passions that you wrote down into your life, into your daily life. Okay, not something that happens once and that's it, but something that is going to happen in your life on a regular basis. Okay, so basically right now you have some areas in your life, some passions, and what you want to do is to set some goals that will get you those passions in those areas in your life happening in the near, bright new future. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes for that and begin. Make sure that you phrase them. Make sure that you phrase your goals with the 4 criteria: I, now, positive, and end result. So I hope you have some 7 goals that are exciting for you, and if they are not, then you'll have to change those that are not exciting. That's very, very important. But let's move on right now into the other method, which this is a method I'm using lately and I find very, 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 very powerful. I call it the methodical method, the methodical way to set goals, but probably that's not the best name for that, but stay with me, okay? Let's see how it works. So the first thing I would like you to do is to write down 4 core values in your life, those values that are the most important for you, the values that you want to lead your life by them. If you did the core values exercise that I gave in a few videos ago, you should have them. I told you to focus on 6 and then to focus on 3, but right now we want top 4. So I'm going to give you a minute right now to write down 4 of your core values and to set them out in a quadrant, okay, in a quadrant. So for example, my 4 core values right now in my life, the first one is inner peace. The second one is creativity, which I'm carrying it for probably most of my life, but the others are more new. The third one is sharing. So sharing of what I think, sharing of what I do, sharing with friends, sharing with my loved ones, sharing with the world, but also sharing things. So sharing produce that we grow, for example, with our neighbors. So sharing is a value that is very important for me. And the last one, the fourth one for me, is sustainability, and not necessarily in sustainability in the sense of, you know, plastic, using of plastic, but sustainability in a sense of something that can continue for a long time, okay, that is sustainable. Okay, so those are my 4 values, and I will organize them in a 4-quadrant template if you want. So it doesn't really matter the order, just the 4 of them will be there. So I'm going to give you a minute to right now write your 4 top core values and organize them in a similar quadrant. Okay, 1 minute, go for it. Okay, so now you have 4 core values, and what I would like you is I would like you to pair them up together. So for example, take the 2 on the top of your quadrant, that's 2 values. Then the 2 on the bottom of your quadrant, then that's a second couple. Then you take the 2 on the right, the 2 on the left, and the 2 in the diagonal. So in total you should have 6 couples of core values. So for example, in my case, there will be creativity and sharing. That will be one. And another one will be, for example, inner peace and sustainability, right? And another bio can be creativity and sustainability. So just, you need to have the 6 different couples of 2 core values. And now what I want you to do is I want you to look at those 2 core values, each one of them, and think of something exciting that you could create using that. For example, something that is exciting for you, something that you're passionate about. For example, for me, creativity and sharing, that's teaching. That's what it is. It allows me to find new ways and new methods and new content and new things that I want to share with the rest of the world. That's teaching. That's what I'm doing right now by this video. That's what I did for many, many, many years in my life as a trainer, standing on stage. I did that in my books, etc., etc. So that's something that combines 2 values, 2 of my core values, creativity and sharing. That's teaching, for example. Another one, let's take inner peace and sustainability. Okay, for me, when I'm working in the garden, I'm very easily going to a meditative space to inner peace. Okay. So when I'm combining inner peace in the garden with sustainability, then that's a passion that I have right now about growing our own food. I would like that we will be sustainable in the sense of vegetables and fruits and honeys and eggs and stuff that we can actually grow in our garden. So for me, inner peace and sustainability comes to growing our own food. So I'm going to give you right now time to do that. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. It might be a little bit too short because you're new to that. For me, it's quite quick, but if it takes you longer than that, then just pause the video and take more time and just start it again after that. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 minutes, but if you need more time, take for that. And you're going for the 6 couples of values that you have. And for each one of them, find something that is exciting, something that you're passionate about. And we're going to see how to use it in a moment. Take the 2 minutes now. All right, so right now, because you had 4 core values and you have now 6 passions that came out of them, and you should have 5, 6 or 7 areas in your life that you said that you want to set goals, then take these 6 passions that you just wrote for yourself as a result of the core values and set them up in your goals. And you probably will need to add 1 or to maybe split one of them into 2 different areas. That's totally fine. The idea is that you have 6 seven goals that excites you and that they are fulfilling at least those 6 passions. Okay, and of course they need to fit with your 4 core values, but that's a given. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes for that. 2 minutes to write your 7 goals. They might be similar to what you wrote before in the intuitive way. They might be totally different. They might be some of them alike and some not. That's totally fine. Whatever comes, allow it to be there. If 2 minutes is not enough for you, just pause the video, continue for as long as you need, and then come back, because we'll need to keep on working on that. Okay, there's a very important part coming up. So take 2 minutes and I'll see you on the other side. All right, now you have now 7 goals. You might have them from the from the intuitive method, if that's what you prefer. You might have them from the second method, which is the more methodical way to set goals. That's totally fine. If you want to mix them, that's okay. But what you need to have is 7 goals that you want to work on. And what you need to do is you need to right now do something which is, maybe you never did before. If you didn't follow my system of setting goals, you might never have done that before. But you're going to attach a color to each one of those goals. Okay, you're going to attach a color to each one of those goals, and we're going to do it together, which means I'm going to say a color, and you're just intuitively going to attach it to one of those 7 goals, any one that works for you. Okay, and there is no real logic for that. Trust your intuition in that the color I'm saying to you, if you decide that this is the 3rd goal, then that's fine. Just write the color next to it, that's it. You need to have at the end 7 goals, and each goal has a different color. Okay, ready for that? So right now I'm giving you the color red. Pick up one of the goals on your list of 7 and just call it, this is my red goal. I'm going to give you a few seconds to do that. Do it now. Wonderful. Right now choose the color orange. Which is the goal that feels like the orange goal? Great. And now, which one would be the yellow goal? Which one is the green goal? Which one will be the blue goal? Which one is the violet goal? And what is left, the 7th, it's the indigo goal. And indigo is a type of a very, very deep blue, between blue and purple or something like that. Okay, those are the goals. So you have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and indigo. All right? This is important. You are going to work 6 weeks with those goals with the colors. So you need to have them together, so don't mess that up. Okay? All right. Now, in the next 6 weeks, we're going to work with visualizations morning and evening. we're going to visualize your 7 goals, and we're going to make sure that we burn them in our unconscious mind, which will allow your unconscious mind to support you and to show you the direction, to bring to you or magnetize into your life the circumstances, the synchronicities, the people that can support you in actually reaching those goals faster and easier than you ever thought possible. This is a system that I developed 25 or something years ago. This system is recognized by the top expert about success in the world as one of the best, most effective systems to achieve goals. So you need to give yourself a chance for those 6 weeks. And for that, you will need the 7 goals. You will need the 7 colors, as we just chose for them. And you'll need to create a vision board. Okay, this is your homework assignment. We're not going to do it live right now, but I want to explain it very, very quickly. And then I'm going to give you time to do that at home before we are going to start with the 6-week program. So let me explain very quickly. Even if you know what vision board is, stay with me because there is still another part at the end. Okay, so vision board basically is a representation, a visual representation of your goals, because remember, we're going to visualize them, so you want to see a picture of them. And for many of us, it helps if we actually have a visual picture for that. And what you want to do is you want to take a big piece of paper or a cardboard or a poster or a page, and what you want to do is to divide it into 7 areas. They can be the same size, same shape, or they can be any way you want. Allow your creativity to be here. It's really not important. And each one of them needs to have a main color, or at least an indication of the main color. So there needs to be a red one, an orange area, a yellow area, a green area, blue area, violet area, and an indigo area. So you kind of divide the page this way, any way that works for you. And then you're going to create or put a visual representation of each goal in the place that it belongs. So the red goals go in the red area on the poster. And visual representation can be anything. It can be a picture that you cut from a magazine. It can be a picture that you took from the internet and printed. It can be a drawing that you created. It can be a symbol. But it's important that it's something visual in addition to the words. You can put the words, but more important right now is the visual representation. It works on the 2 different parts of the brain. So the words will work with the left, the logical part of the brain, and the image will work with the right, the more intuitive, the more emotional part of the brain. So this is important. So if you wrote for yourself that you're going to drive, or that you're driving a sports car, a red sports car, then what you need to do is you need to go get yourself a picture of that specific red sports car. If you have a brand for that you want and everything, so you want that picture. And what you want to do is to find a picture of yourself, a passport photo of yourself, or take a picture and print it, and you want to put that, even if it's small, in the car that is on the poster. You always want to have your picture in the vision board. People don't really understand that, but it's exactly the same as you phrase the goal with the eye. You also want to have the representation, the 7 goals that you're setting there. There should be 7 little pictures of yourself in each one of those goals. If it's you in a relationship, even if you don't have a relationship yet, well, I don't care who you put as the partner, but you need to put your face or your body with your face next to that person, etc., etc. Okay, so you need 7 pictures on the same poster, 1 for each one of the goal, 1 for each one of the colors. You want to include yourself with a little picture of yourself. That's the vision board. Okay, I will show you some examples for myself from the last few years. But for now, this is something to do as a homework. I hope that's clear. If not, let me know in the comment box below and I will answer that. So what we're going to do from the next part, if you're part of the Bright New Future program, is that for 6 weeks, you will visualize every day in the morning and in the evening your 7 goals. There will be a guided visualization that Vered is going to take you through, and some of them will be very short, and some of them, when you go to sleep, they will just take you to sleep and you just fall asleep with that. They will be long, but it doesn't matter. Even if you fall asleep to that, that's great. And each week we're going to change the visualization, but the principle will be the same. We're going to take those goals that you decided right now with your conscious mind and install them in your unconscious mind, every time going deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay, so that's the plan. So right now what I would like you to do, and this is very, very important, it's actually crucial that you will do, is that you will take a couple of minutes and write down in the comment box below, write down your 7 goals with their color. So you write red, and then what is it? And write it the way that I instructed you if you want. I drive a red Ferrari ta-ta-tam, okay? Or I go on a ski vacation. Whatever it is, with the color that fits with that. It's important. I will read every single one of your comments, and if I will see that you wrote it in a way that is not supporting you for whatever reason, I will comment and help you with that. So it's important that you share it. It's important for your commitment. It's important to show it to the rest of the community, because maybe somebody can help you with that. Maybe two of you have a similar goal and you can support and cooperate with each other. But most important is that it will allow me to make sure that the way that you're setting the goals are helping you to get them faster, easier, and the most effective. I have an experience with that. Trust me on that. I want to help you, but you'll need to put them in the comments. So take 2 minutes right now to write your 7 goals, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, so you're all set. Ready to create your bright new future? Let's go for it. We're going to continue in the next video, and until we meet again, live fully, stay awesome from Nissan.